John Brzenk has only been forced in a hook a couple of times since his comeback in 2021. That's 2 times in over 2 years. And Alexey Voevoda needs some kind of cupping in order to be able to beat John. And that's why I think he may find himself in some trouble on September 23rd at King of the Table 8. Pay-per-view link is in the description. First of all, thanks to all of you for clicking on this video. Hello and welcome everyone to Armwrestling News. If you end up liking this video, then please give it a thumbs up. In this video, we will discuss John versus Voevoda, then John Brzenk and Todd Hutchings' upcoming super matches at East versus West 10, which have already been announced by none other than John Brzenk himself. And after that, we will discuss Matt Mask's match as well. What kind of mindset and mood Matt is bringing into this super match against his opponent. I forgot his opponent while talking about this match. I will remember it till the time arrives to speak about that match. So let's first discuss... It's crazy, man. So let's first discuss John Brzenk versus Voevoda. I think John can keep Voevoda's hand flat, and that's when he may get into some trouble. I'm still worried about the unprofessionalism. So let's take a look at John Brzenk's matches since his comeback. At first, he faced none other than Chance Shaw. Chance was able to get one pin over him. Was that with a hook? No. It was in fact the opposite. When John tried to hook Chance, that's how he got that one win. Dimitri Kachan took John's hand every time, but that wasn't enough. After that, Paul Lynn was able to force John in a hook in the second round, and that was really surprising to many in the third match. Then he faced Devon Laird. Let's not even talk about Devon. Ron Bath, yeah. Now I remember. Then after that, John faced Zoloev. Zoloev never had any kind of chance whatsoever against John, although I did believe that he is going to beat John. And now that prediction seems crazy after almost a couple of years. Engin Terzi was way too small to be able to beat John Brzenk. John versus Pavlo Derbediev. Good top roll hit in the first round, but still couldn't get the job done. No chance of forcing the hook. Then Zurab Tavbaridze, hook arm wrestler, but he loses his wrist way too often to be able to keep it against John Brzenk. And let's see who the next match was. Corey the Gorilla West. Well, Paul Lynn's match was the third match when John was kind of making a comeback. And this Corey West versus John Brzenk match, I think that's where we kind of saw John's peak shape, the older peak shape of John Brzenk, which is the best since his 57 and 59 years of age. And Corey West was able to curl John in almost every single round. Now that was really impressive, but keep in mind, Michael Todd talks so highly about Corey's cupping ability, his ability to prevent the top roll, and maybe that's why he was able to prevent it. Michael says that Corey is almost untop rollable, and he curled Alex Kurdecha's pronation in the first round. So he is really difficult to top roll for anyone in this world. Kidragali Ongarbayev. Ongarbayev doesn't really like to hook that much. He's a top roller, so no hooking attempt in that match. Although John also cannot force the hook on any of his opponents, but it is difficult to force the hook on John as well. Petrenko lost his wrist every single time. Irakli Zerakashvili got top rolled by John. No chance of hooking John Brzenk. Denis Siplenkov had way too much back pressure. His finger containment was cool, but he was never able to bend his wrist against John. In fact, he slightly lost it when he tried to go sideways. Not that much, but maybe like that. So no hook from Denis as well. Denis Siplenkov's wrist is so thick, so massive that he basically cannot curl his wrist even against weaker opponents. Todd Hutchings. So Todd Hutchings is not even a hook arm wrestler. What are you talking about, Pradeep? Yeah, as Artem likes to say, Todd is a shitty top roller, but his hook is awesome. So he's not so good of a top roller, but he is a top roller, and he feels like a god when you try to hook him. That's the kind of arm wrestler Todd Hutchings is. But Todd cannot force anything in a hook. He cannot force the hook on you. He'll destroy anyone in this world if they try to hook him, but he cannot force the hook. So no hook against John Brzenk. He Todd rolled John Brzenk in that match. So basically, really difficult for anyone to top roll John, to hook John. And the way John lost his matches, Todd Hutchings, different style. Irakli Zerakashvili, flop press. Denis Siplenkov, extreme level of back pressure. Every time, immediately John found himself over the top of Denis Siplenkov's pad. And that is something that Alexey Voevoda cannot do. If John embraces the top roll, that open arm top roll, and Voevoda's wrist stays flat, I think then he can get in some trouble. And there are many people, it is kind of against what I predicted, but there are many people predicting John to win this match. So maybe he really is in that super match. I hope he wins. I hope he wins. And now let's talk about his next super match. So I was saying that John has been taking way too many difficult matches and he shouldn't do that. Now what's happened? Engin has kind of made some interesting decisions here. So now he did what is important, not what the athletes want. So it is kind of strange to say that Engin kind of went against John's will, because he always used to say that I'm going to give John whatever match he wants. John clearly wanted that Ongarbayev match. In last 1 year, John has probably talked about that rematch at least 10 times publicly and God knows how many times privately with Engin Terzi and other arm wrestlers. But did John give him that match? Nope. Todd Hutchings is getting that match against Ongarbayev at East versus West 10, which is awesome. I fully support this decision. I don't think John was going to be able to do anything against Ongarbayev in that rematch. But Todd can for sure do something. Todd is a different breed. Especially at 57, 58 years old. John cannot compete with the side pressure of Todd. And maybe even Ongarbayev cannot. Who knows? So John and Todd Hutchings wanted the match against Sasho Andreev. Todd wanted to drop in the 95 kilo category, and Engin has done the exact opposite. Engin is giving him Ongarbayev and he's giving Sasho Andreev to John Brzenk. That's kind of a weird situation. So John Brzenk versus Sasho Andreev is the next match. I'm not sure if there is a weight cap or not. If there is a 95 kg weight cap, I'm making a prediction now. John Brzenk is going to fail that weight cut. He's not going to be able to make it. He just simply does not have that kind of motivation to lose weight to get to 95 kilos. I'm telling you, if you are watching that match, if there is a 95 kg weight cap, John is not going to make it. And it is an easy match. It should be an easy match for John. And I'm kind of happy. I want to see him destroy Sasho Andreev, because Sasho is basically 88 kilos and John is 105 kilos. Yes, there is an age gap, but I think John can beat him in a similar way he beat Zurab Tavbaridze, and that's how I think that match is going to go. And Todd versus Ongarbayev, man, if Ongarbayev is not able to take Todd to the losing side, he may be in big trouble. From center, maybe not center, but slightly to the offensive, till the pin pad, it's Todd's territory all day long. Ongarbayev cannot do that to Todd Hutchings. There is absolutely no way. But he's fast enough to take Todd to the losing side. That may happen. Now let's talk about Matt Mask. So Matt Mask said in the recent interviews on Armwrestling channel and Voice of Arm Wrestling channel, he discussed something about the Sergey Kalinichenko match. He's still really happy and at the same time really disappointed with his performance that he showed at the Knuckles Up event, I think it was. No, maybe the Canada Arm Wrestling event. I even forgot the name. So Matt Mask almost beat Sergey Kalinichenko, but then he lost to that flop press, which he trained for. He trained for that flop press, but he still lost to it. 4 pins to 3, amazing match. Then Matt said that he couldn't even straighten his arm for a couple of weeks after that. So that shows that he didn't get a good enough training for that match. And now that's a problem because Matt is on a big losing streak. So let's discuss Matt's matches. He lost to Hermes Gasparini, then Tim Bresnan, Morozov. Well, that was a left arm match. Evgeny Prudnik, Krasimir, Kostadinov. Yeah, he won against Krasi. But Krasi is someone who is himself on the worst losing streaks in arm wrestling history. And Matt only beat him. So does that really count? I'm not sure. Although Krasi did win WAF after that. Yeah, it was on the right arm. Ongarbayev was not competing there. Then he lost to Sandre Sedis, Yordan Sonev, and recently Sergey Kalinichenko. So 7 losses, 1 win if we include the left arm match as well. Now that is a really terrible record. And now he needs to win this match. But people are saying that Matt has never defeated Ron Bath. Now that's something interesting. Matt was asked about his matches against Ron, and he did say that they have faced each other in tournament format or in best of 3 WL format maybe 10-12 times, but he didn't reveal the score. So maybe those guys are saying the truth. Maybe Matt has never defeated Ron Bath, and especially hearing from him that he couldn't even straighten his arm for 2-3 weeks after that Kalinichenko match, and he's still feeling the after effects of that, and especially how how Ron Bath lays the shoulder on his opponents, I think Matt may be in big trouble once again. Yes, Ron Bath is getting older. He's 63 years old right now. John also said, when asked about quitting arm wrestling, he said that I should take inspiration from Ron Bath. If he's not quitting, he's been arm wrestling for as long as I've been arm wrestling. If he's not quitting, maybe I also shouldn't quit. And that's a good sign. We need to see the GOAT compete. And more importantly, we need to see him win on the arm wrestling table, which we are going to see. So I think initially I was predicting Matt to win, but he did sound motivated about this match. It looks like he wants to win that match. Like, there was a different level of excitement while he was talking about his upcoming match against Ron. You should hear that. Please ignore the 1000 F-bombs that he dropped in that video, or you cannot ignore that, but that was really funny. So my prediction is maybe changing. Ron Bath wins that match 3-2. Matt has to top roll him, and he has to top roll him really fast. So thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.